And we're back. I knew I was going to be gone for a bit because, A, work picks up for me between March and probably July, so that's first and foremost. You kind of get home and you get too tired for this shit is what happens. And then, second, April 4th was kind of an important date in my book in terms of the JRPG front because Persona 5, the latest hit in Atlus's, track record of wonderful Persona entities, has now been released and has been eating up a shit ton of time. And I was like, you know what? Between both of those, I'm gonna have to find something, some time to do something. And I mean, I've been streaming too. I've been streaming like once a week and stuff, but it's been really low key. I've been doing like Pokemon and Jackbox, and not really much has come from it until I ordered a SSD for my computer, moved everything over. They lost the first one. I filed a claim for the first one, I got a replacement, and then my second one came in the mail after all, so I ended up getting 2 SSDs for the price of one. So I was like, well, you know what, let's put one out, and then let's see what we can kind of do with it. As you can kind of see from the thumbnail, it's Ubers, which I have not played this generation at all, and it kind of shows because, it still kind of looks like Oras Ubers for the most part. There's no Lunala, I think there's a Z-Move or 2 in here. I really honestly couldn't tell you. This is just a bunch of bank stuff coming from Gen 6 to Gen 7. And from the Ubers I remember in Oras, Primal Groudon is a thing, and I usually like leading Genesect because either a Scarfed or a Banded U-turn is not a bad time. I like doing that a lot, so I should probably be less predictable about it, but I figured, hey, you know what, we'll go with it, because I think this is my first Ubers game in Gen 7. And I figured it would be kind of nice to just try to play it out as Oras, and then if I end up flopping immensely, I can kind of see what happened from there and try to correct it in the future, as well as make more sets. I'm noticing that I don't have a defogging Arceus or a water one. I think I've got like 2 of the same set for whatever reason, but they're just, I don't know. I need more Arceus is what I know, and I need to make a good Solgaleo and Lunala is all I know, because I wanted to use them in this game. Especially since I've got, the versus background done accordingly. But I didn't have them ready, so that's kind of my mistake. I'll see if I can get them ready for next time. One thing I can tell you right here about the game, since the first couple of turns were pretty self-explanatory, I just U-turn out into Groudon. Genesect has no business staying in on Groudon whatsoever, so I might as well do that. We're going to immediately exchange offensive moves. He could have missed Blades, but thankfully for him did not. I'm doing a little bit more with Earthquake as far as I can tell to him, but I'm going to immediately switch it up to Fire Punch because A, it is Sun boosted, B, it will more than likely hit the incoming Lugia and break the multi-scale. I want to get some damage off, and even if I end up not taking out the Groudon for whatever random-ass reason, I could definitely see that happening. It made it so that the switch-in was not necessarily safe, especially if he doesn't have a Heat Train or a Flash Fire poke, so I figure I might as well go for that. I lived the Ice Beam on too, somehow. I'm a little bit surprised by this, but it also is a Lugia, which is not... They're usually, under normal circumstances, not meant to be offensive, and even when they are, they're still not that offensive. I've seen him hit kind of hard, but this is a Primal Groudon we're talking about. This is like the S+ tier of Ubers, You're hurting yourself in Ubers by not bringing one of these pretty much. So to have them kind of face off against each other in the first couple of turns, expected, it's fine. He still has his, I've lost mine, but I've severely dented his, I've crippled Lugia, and I've broken the multi-scale. I didn't really have any other plans for it otherwise. I literally just brought it just because I knew it'd be a good idea to have it there and to actually bring it. So I also wanted to use Mega Lucario in this game because I hadn't used it in a really long time, and this is a special one, so I was like, let's see what I can do with this coverage of fighting, steel, and... No, wait, I think I just have Mono Stab. Now that I think about it, I thought I had Dark Pulse, but I don't. I'm pretty sure I've got Aura Sphere, Vacuum Wave, and Flash Cannon. Sounds about right. But I can't really do anything to Arceus Water, which is what I learned this is really quickly. It looked like Ice for a second, but, based on that damage, and it's a Mega Lucario, and they're not very effective on the switch-in, plus the fact that he switched it in the first place. Good solid cue that there's that. But I've seen a few Ubers games in my time, from time to time, in my sub box, and I know that Arceus Water does in fact like to run Fire Blast. So I end up going into my my Palkia. I do unfortunately get burned off of this, despite the fact it is a ×4 resistance. I don't take a lot from it. I take about as much from the burn as I do the Fire Blast. But I guess it's all good. I'm not stressing it at the end of the day. If there's a status condition I'd rather have, I think it'd rather be burn as opposed to paralysis or toxic on this Palkia. But I am able to go for Thunder Wave. I forgot where I got this Palkia set from. I think it was a recommended one on Smogon, and I was like, what do I do? And I figure T-Waving, just throwing off a random T-Wave Wave right there, crippling something would be fantastic. Turns out I catch the Xerneas, which is one of the absolute best things on this team to have paralyzed. It means we got no Geomancy shenanigans going on, or Z-Geomancy, or Zeomancy, as I've heard it in my Twitch chat from time to time. I don't think, is that what he goes for here? No. Maybe? I don't know. He got paralyzed. He might have gone for a regular Geomancy. Either way, it's fine. I forgot what download I got, but I do threaten him out with the Iron Head anyways. I believe I am a physically oriented Scarf Genesect as opposed to a specially oriented one, but I am going to go ahead and try to go for said Iron Head. It doesn't make much sense to go for anything else on that other than that, but, you know, he goes into his Arceus Water, and that's fine by me. As long as I have Palkia alive and at a decent amount of HP, I have a switch into it, so this is fine. He's going to get his +1 up on the Calm Mind. This is fine. I'm still going for Spatial Rend regardless with a high crit ratio. Might be able to bust through it. Other than that, I don't really have an immediate plan. I don't have anything that really wants to switch into an Arceus Water fresh, so I would much rather just wait for either Palkia to go down, or, you know, wait for him to switch out so I can deal with it accordingly. But Giratina coming in means I have a pretty good opportunity to go into Yveltal immediately after that, if it was present after that turn. You know, if it didn't just switch in on the Spatial Rend the way that it did, that would have been my plan B. But, you know, my plan A just immediately was firing off Spatial Rends, and then I took out Giratina. So I was like, okay, well, this is less Pokemon that Yveltal can immediately come in easily on. You know, outside of a Draco, I think is probably the main thing that Yveltal has to fear. But in terms of, like, coming in on a Ghost move, I should be totally just fine. Then I might be able to take a Dragon Pulse decently well. But I think I ended up just going straight for another... Oh, no, wait, you know what? He baited me there. I think he baited me pretty good there, because I thought he was going to end up going into Xerneas on that one. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to go for the Hydro Pump, and that didn't necessarily... Or, you know what? Maybe he was in for a second. I was not paying the highest of attention. But Palkia is able to get 2 kills, and that's what that's all about. So this thing's working out pretty well. It's not paralyzed. I still got plenty of mileage, and I didn't know necessarily what to run on this thing. I figured I would just run the Lustrous Orb. It is its own item. It does boost its own stabs. And I think the 4th move I have on this that you don't see me going for is probably either Fire Blast or Thunder. I feel like it's Fire Blast, but I really couldn't necessarily tell you. Let me see. I got Hydro Pump, Spatial Rend, I got Thunder Wave, and I haven't had a reason to reveal anything outside of that. But that's totally fine by me. Just going to go for a Hydro Pump right now. And it does a pretty damn good amount of damage to it, but I do lose my Palkia to the Moonblast. This series of events happened a lot slower in real time now that I think about it. On top of that, he gets a crit. Doesn't necessarily matter at all. But that was probably like 20 minutes. No, not 20 minutes in real time. It just felt like a really long time. I don't necessarily know why. But my Palkia lasted for a hot minute, let me tell you. Get a safe switch into Mega Lucario, which is always fun. And I don't remember if I went for the Aura Sphere here. Oh, okay, yeah. That's what Pass Me... That's what I would have told Pass Me to do, and Pass Me actually did it. That's what we call thinking smart. So, I got my Nasty Plot up, and I'm now free to go for whatever I want, basically. Gonna go for an Aura Sphere. I don't think it's gonna be able to knock it out. I think... Oh, shit, you know what? I stand completely corrected. This thing's a menace. This thing is disgusting. But I don't have Dark Pulse, meaning that this is the one thing on his team that is immediately a hard stop to my Lucario, which is pretty unfortunate, but I do have a nice switch in the form of Yveltal. The worst thing I necessarily have to fear from it is probably the Steel coverage. I do take neutral from Steel and from the Sacred Sword, potentially, but the Gyro Ball could hurt, and the Flash Cannon, I'm pretty sure, could hurt as well. But I don't think he's going to go for Steel move. I don't think he's going to go for Steel move on Lucario, especially because I haven't revealed whether or not I could have Dark Pulse. I could just not be running Vacuum Wave. You know, that could be a thing because it is already decently fast. But I decided to go into there. I take a Flash Cannon pretty okay, I guess. I think that's what ended up happening there. And I'm going to go for Sub as he switches in his Lugia. And I'm at the point right now where I'm actually glad I got to rough it up a little bit with Primal Groudon, because multi-skill's broken. It is paralyzed. I don't have to worry about, you know, a random-ass fast Lugia in here somewhere. And it's great. It's perfect. I get to take it out. And then I think the last one left is the Aegislash, and I am a Yveltal behind a Sub. So I'm in a pretty good spot right here, especially with the Xerneas being paralyzed as well. So as you can see, little yellow color at the beginning of the game makes for some some nice conditions here. Able to knock out the Lugia, which is slower than me. The Xerneas, which previously probably would have speed tied with me at its best. I think they both had the same base speed. I'm able to go for an Oblivion Wing, heal all of that damage off from the sub and from the Flash Cannon. And all that's left is an Aegislash, which, you know, it is pretty bulky in shield form, but to stand up to a Life Orb Yveltal's Dark Pulse, boosted by Dark Aura as well from full, I just don't necessarily see that happening, especially because that does happen to be his last one. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up from here, and that's actually gonna do it. So, oh wait, shit, no, he did live it. How about that? That's fucking crazy. I'm completely mistaken, but it's happening on the next turn. That's what's happening. So, anyways, beyond this, what can we necessarily talk about? Because we already know that the Gyro Ball's gonna break the sub, and then a Dark Pulse on the next turn, or he's gonna King Shield on the next turn, and then I'm pretty sure, according to my Premier track, he just lets it die. So. Anyways, that is going to be the game from there. I have been... Oh, you know what? He is stance changing. That's fine. Like I said, I'm really busy at work lately, so you're more likely to catch me at a stream as opposed to a YouTube video out of me. I just really wanted to see with the new equipment upgrade, see how much of a difference in time it made with rendering and, you know, all that stuff. And, you know, get one out every now and then. I do have a good amount of material backed up, including a series of videos with a very special and very fun team that I've been playing on live stream as well, known as the Baja Men. Those of you that are watching this right now that are from the stream will probably know specifically what that team's all about, but I can't really play it in any other environment other than Passerby. I couldn't really do it in Showdown either, other than like custom games. But I got, you know, something with that coming up. It's not going to be good, but it's going to be funny. And I do have some other regular games as well. I'm sitting on a few of those. I've just been, truthfully, when I get back from work, I'm really tired. And I'm really stressed out as well. So all of that combined with the fact there's a new game and, you know, I just want to sit down and relax, it kind of puts us on the back burner. So I apologize. This happens from time to time. And it is something that I would like to kind of get better with in the future in terms of preparing videos and stuff. So anyway, here's this one. Let's see if I can get some more out today because it is pretty early in the Saturday still. And that should do it. I'll see you guys later.